Hello everyone, myself Prezi. Welcome back to my channel Commerce Class. Today's class is about demand forecasting. Demand forecasting. Business is futuristic. Future is uncertain and that involves risk. And we can minimize this risk by anticipating future events. So estimating and anticipating future event is known as forecasting. It is the prediction of future events. How can we predict future events? We can predict future events on the basis of historical data, opinion of experts, then non-future variables, etc. Past data or historical data is used for predicting future events. And the experts in different areas know more about certain events, so we get information from these experts. We can use this information to predict the future events. So prediction of future events on the basis of historical data, opinion, trend or non-future variable is known as forecasting. Then what is demand forecasting? It's a process of finding values for demand in future time period. It is anticipating future demand. Anticipating, estimating the future demand on the basis of past data is known as demand forecasting. Before production, a business concern should estimate the future demand. Last year's production, then opinion and suggestions from production manager or marketing experts are taken before anticipating future demand. Demand forecasting is the base of marketing planning. Without knowledge of future demand, it's not possible to prepare correct marketing program. So demand forecasting is the base, or it is the initial stage of all marketing programs. Demand forecasting helps the management to reduce overproduction or underproduction. It enables a firm to produce the required quantity at the right time and arrange well in advance for the factors of production. Required quantities must be stored in the organization. So demand forecasting is very useful for that. Demand forecasting reduces business risk. And production policy and production planning is possible through demand forecasting. Production is closely related with demand forecasting. Production is planned according to this forecasting. Then we can avoid overproduction and underproduction. These are the benefits of demand forecasting. Now we will move to the methods of demand forecasting. Methods are broadly classified into two, that is survey method and statistical method. Survey method is used for short-term forecasting. A survey is conducted to collect information about future purchase plans of potential consumers. We can collect information about the desire, likes and dislikes of customers. Important survey methods are consumers interview method, collective opinion method, expert opinion method, consumer clinic and end use method. First one, consumer interview method. This method is also known as consumer survey. Consumers are interviewed directly and ask the quantity they would like to buy. First, they want to identify all the potential consumers, then collect information from them about the quantity they would like to purchase. Then after collecting data, total demand for the product is calculated. For that, we want to add all individual demand. We can interview all the customers or we can select few among these customers. When all the customers are interviewed, that method is known as complete enumeration method. When only a selected group of consumers are interviewed, that is known as sample survey method. Only sample is selected from the entire population, and that sample is the representative of that population and collect informations from that selected samples, and that method is sample survey method. Second one, collective opinion method. This method is also known as sales force opinion method, collecting informations from salesmen. They can easily estimate the expected sales in their respective territories. They usually estimate sales on the basis of previous experience. To get total demand, we want to combine individual forecast of all salesmen. Next one, expert opinion method. This method is also known as Delphi method. Demand is forecasted on the basis of the opinion of experts and distributors. Informations from salesmen and ordinary consumers are not used here. Data is collected from experts and distributors only. Next one, consumer clinic. In this case, some buyers are selected. A certain amount of money is given to the selected buyers and ask them to buy the product. Then the prices are changed and consumers are asked to make fresh purchases with the given money. In this method, consumers' responses to price changes are observed here. We can easily study the behavior of consumers, their buying behavior, how they reacted to price changes, etc. are studied under this method. All these informations are used for forecasting demand. Last one is end use method. In this method, a list of end users is prepared. End users are final consumers, individual industries, exporters, etc. Then future demand for the product is found either directly from the end users or indirectly by estimating the future growth. To get total demand of the product, all the individual demand of end users are used. Then second method is statistical method. This is used for long-term forecasting. Past data is used for forecasting future demand. And different methods are trend projection method, regression and correlation, extrapolation method, simultaneous equation method, and barometric method. Trend projection method. In this method, demand is estimated on the basis of analysis of past data. For this, we can use time series, data over a period of time. Trend is estimated here. In trend analysis, a trend in time series is estimated by using different statistical method like least square method, freehand method, moving average method, and semi-average method. In this method, we usually identifies the past trend and future demand is based on that trend, or future demand is forecasted based on this past trend. For that, we use time series. The next one is regression and correlation. It is the combination of economic theory and statistical technique. Relationship between sales and other variables are estimated. sales as dependent variable and other variables are independent variables. Here other variables are price of related goods, income, advertisement, etc. These all are independent variables, and sales changes according to the change in this variable, and that relationship is studied in regression and correlation method. So correlation shows the relationship between the relationship between different variables. Regression is the functional relationship between different variables. Functional relationship means cause and effect relationship between different variables. Future demand is forecasted on the basis of relationship of sales and other variables. Barometric technique. Under this technique, certain economic and statistical indicators from selected time series are used to predict variables. Personal income, non-agricultural placements, gross national income, price of industrial material, wholesale commodity prices, industrial production, etc. are some of the commonly used indicators. These indicators are used to predict the variables. This method is used for short-term forecast and cannot be used for new products demand forecasting. Sometimes it's very difficult to get appropriate economic indicator to predict future trend, and that is one of the main drawback of this barometric technique. Extrapolation. It's also a statistical method, and here future demand is extrapolated by applying binomial expansion method. Binomial distribution and binomial expansion method. It's a statistical method, and that is used to forecast the future events. Next one is simultaneous equation method. It is an econometric model. This method is used to explain the behavior of all variables which the company can control. In this model, only the future values of exogenous variables are required to be estimated. Exogenous variable is a variable that is not affected by other variable in the system. For example, in case of farming, variables like weather, farmer skill, seed, these all are exogenous to crop production. So these are the variable that is not affected by other variable. These variables are independent, that is not affected by another variable, and that is exogenous variable. Here in this simultaneous equation method, future values of exogenous variables are required to be estimated. The value of exogenous variable are supposed to be easier to predict than those of endogenous variable. Endogenous variables are variables which are determined by other variables, and this endogenous variables are somewhat similar to dependent variable. In this model explains the behavior of all variables which the company can control. So endogenous and exogenous variables and their behavior are studied in the simultaneous equation method. The relationship is studied here. Trend projection method, regression correlation method, barometric technique, extrapolation, simultaneous equation method, these all are statistical method. Equations, mathematical formula, and time series, trend, etc. are used to estimate future demand. Majority of them are econometric models. In the statistical methods, we only use past data. In survey method, we take past data, or we used past data, and also we collect information from experts and consumers. But statistical method, only past data is used, and that data is applied in certain mathematical equations or formula to estimate future demand. That is about methods of demand forecasting. Please subscribe my channel and share my videos. Thanks for watching my channel. Bye.